All right, guys, welcome back to another episode. Today, we're talking about overwhelming feeling. We all get that. If you have a lot of shit going on, you're doing a lot of things, or maybe you're new to something and you're like, I haven't really done this. And you get that feeling of like, oh man, uh, I, I, I don't know what to do. And you just want to hand it off to someone. Okay. We had someone that had recently had that feeling, and I get that feeling sometimes, especially when there's a lot of stuff coming at you and you're like, man, do I do this? Do I do that? What do I that overwhelming feeling happens. And so, what I had told that individual is that that's a feeling of growth. Anytime you feel like you're overwhelmed and you're like, I just don't know what to do, you're growing is what's happening. You're actually growing. You are, you don't realize it, but that's what's happening. So what I like to do, and Misty, you may have something else that you do, but what I like to do is I like to step back and just write a list out of everything needs to be done. I don't try to work on anything. I'll just sit down at my desk and I'll just start writing out a list. And that might take me 30 minutes, might take me 5 minutes, might take me an hour. And sometimes I'll write it out, get up, walk away, go hit the bathroom, grab some snack, go get a protein shake or something, and then walk back to my office and then sit back down. And between that time, maybe something else popped up in my head and was like, oh, I got to get that done. Your brain, when it hits that overload, it doesn't necessarily think anymore. So, once you start writing it down, it's like a computer, right? Like if you ever, um, I'm gonna rag on Misty because I do it too, but you have too many tabs open on your internet, on your browser.
It's making you lag.
Yeah, it's like shit's slowing down, right? You're like, man, it's too many tabs. Well, the same, it's your brain, right? You have too many tabs and you're like, I don't know what to
On
do.
my iPhone, you know how you open
I don't even
the
want to know.
tab on there? It wouldn't let me open any more tabs. I had to go in and close them
Yeah.
out.
Exactly. So you have too many tabs, right? But that's what's happening at overwhelming feeling that your brain has got too many tabs open. It doesn't know which one to click on, right? So you kind of have to stop. And once you start writing those tabs down, it releases some of that CPU power in your brain, and it goes, okay, I got a little bit more memory I can use. Okay, now I can use more. And then the more you write down, the more you can use. But you're not done. The reason I get up and walk away from that list often has to do with your mind only thinks about what's going on in the present when you're working on just that. It doesn't think about the future, it doesn't think about the past. But when you get up, when you drive, when you go, you're maybe walking around the house, you're taking a shower, anything other than actual work, your mind bounces in and out between past, present, and future all the time.
Driving.
Yeah, driving gets you. Hey man, driving gets me too sometimes.
I drive in silence, turn
Yeah,
off the radio,
yeah.
and then I focus and I'm like, where am I? What?
We're gonna need to get you life alert, honey. Just hit the life alert button, the WTF button, the WTF, where the fuck am I button. How do you- but yeah, I mean, you need it. Yeah, but you've got it. So your mind bounces in and out of present, past, and future whenever you're doing things that you're not thinking about or working. So to remove that overwhelming feeling, write everything out, get up, go do something else, mindless, right? You're not, I mean, don't go watch TV. That's a horrible idea because you'll get lost in Suits and Harvey Specter. But instead, instead walk away and to me, it's always go grab something to eat real quick, or sometimes I'll even write a list down and I'll go, hey, I'm gonna go get some coffee, or hey, Misty, I'm gonna write this list down. Hey, you want to go grab something to eat? Like we'll go, go hit up some little breakfast joint or something. Like I've done that, and I've done that numerous times when that overwhelming feeling hits. I'm not putting off the side or procrastinating, but I'm letting my brain try to like get some memory and CPU back. And then in the meantime, my brain's kind of going, oh, hey, by the way, you need this and you need that. So maybe I was gone for 30 minutes or an hour and I come back. I'm like, all right, cool. Sit down. And now I don't feel overwhelmed anymore. Then I start looking and saying, okay, I need to do this. I need to do that. Okay, that can wait for tomorrow. That's not really going to move this thing forward. That's not going to move this thing forward. That's not going to. Okay, so it's really just these next items.
So
And that's
you're
it.
prioritizing.
Yeah, you start prioritizing stuff. So sometimes I do it fast. Other times I don't do it fast. You kind of, especially it's like any design work, I actually sleep on some of that stuff. If I'm building something, maybe website or web page or copywriting, I'll write it out and I sleep on it, sometimes. So it's especially when like, man, like I've got a huge, you know, list of stuff. If you just take one bite at a time, it's so much easier. So I think write it out, take a break, take a moment, don't watch TV, but do something else, that's just mindless or, relaxing or whatever, and then go right back to it. But that's what I do. I don't know if I ever, she probably she probably doesn't pay attention to me doing it, but that's what I do a lot of times. So, the look on her face is like, oh, like, you do that? Yeah, I've been doing that for a while. And that actually helps relieve for me that overwhelming feeling. What do you do, Misty? What do you do? You kind of the same thing as far as to deal with
Yeah, take a
overwhelming?
minute. Yeah. I
What's
go
your process? What do you do?
step away from the computer.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
go.
sounds like the cop. Step away from the computer, Misty.
I have to get up and walk around, get the blood flowing, and I usually go get a drink or a coffee or
A drink of water, right?
yeah.
Don't do wine,
Clarify.
guys. You'll fall asleep.
Yeah.
Misty's like, wine. No. Don't do wine. Don't do it.
Sometimes you'll see me walk to the kitchen and back, and I'm just kind of walking back and forth, like with no purpose.
Yeah. I'm going to catch you now.
And I'm like, just kind of thinking and just walking back and forth. And then I'm like, all right, let's go back at it.
You go stare at the dryer?
I watch the dog a lot, just kind of peer out, see what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. Everyone's going to have their thing, right? And so whatever that
Or
might
watch
be.
the fish tank.
Yeah. You get lost in the fish tank. I didn't know we had that fish. We've had it. But yeah, everybody has their process, and I think you just have to find your own. So, if you're struggling and you're feeling that overwhelming feeling, don't, one, know that you're not alone. Two, or most importantly, know that that's growth. Don't hand that off to someone else. Stop, grab a hold of it, control the situation, make a list, figure it out, or make a list of everything. Don't do any work. Don't try to move forward in the list. Don't try to knock any work out from the list. And then do something that will allow your brain to, kind of check out for a moment so that it'll start going into the future, the past, and the present all at the same time, just in and out. And then next thing you know, boom, you're right back in. And then you can focus and you probably have added more things to your list of what needs to be done. And then you can start prioritizing. And then once you're done prioritizing, then you can start knocking out certain tasks. And I think that's it. So it kind of goes along with, if you heard us talk about doing 3 things, they all kind of tie together. That those 3 important things that you need to do. If you heard that episode, or if you haven't, go listen to it. But doing those 3 items and being able to just stop the overwhelming feeling go together. And if you really want to make sure you don't have that overwhelming feeling, just keep a list on a regular basis. Maybe on your phone, you're like, oh, I remember this, or oh, I got to do this, or I got to do that. So something I like to do, little tip here for anybody listening, there's a software called Jira. And I have my own Jira that I don't share with the team that I've been utilizing, that just, I have that idea. It's called a backlog. It's a brain dump. And you just dump everything onto that backlog. And then okay, I need to get this done. Because a lot of times you have things going on. You're like, in that backlog of items, you may not get to all of it, but it at least removes it. And you don't look like Misty and I,
You're not bogged down.
Yeah, you don't look like Misty's computer browser. I have a lot of tabs, but damn, her tabs, I'm like,
every time the power goes out, it says, "Do you want to restore?" Yes.
You're wild, man.
I need to.
I try to get rid of them after a while. But overwhelming feeling, guys, go through that process. It'll help. And other than that, we'll catch you guys next time.